in recent times, or quite recent in the headlines, there seems to be more headlines about this this subject than any other thing I think about. There's been a failure of a film to impress at the box office. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll go a different angle with this. Yeah, I'm not going that. Um, yeah, I mean, it's been this particular film's been panned by the critics. From what I can tell, the critics are the only ones that have actually paid money to go and see the film. Nobody else has. The critics have taken pictures of them being in the cinema and an empty cinema. Yeah, hang on, you might be feeding something here. Yeah, okay, but I'm not interested in this particular film in this. Yeah, but I was thinking about um films that were failures in the past, which should have theoretically been successes. Yeah. Um, yeah, this is always going to be interesting. It will surprise some people. I only got four films, so I'm not going to go deeply into it. And I haven't got any figures to back it all up because when you start looking at figures, it depends how you interpret them. And I'm not going to do that with a podcast on about films. Now the first one is Cutthroat Island. Yeah, I saw this about 20 years ago. Gina Davis was in it, was the main star. Yeah, it should have been box office gold. It's a pirate movie. Yeah, straight away. I know Hollywood has had a few problems with pirate films. It predated Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve, if I'm talking out of this, but you
No,
have
no,
references.
I've heard of Pirates
Yeah,
of the Caribbean.
yeah,
Made it quite a success.
which was successful, good film. Yeah, one of Disney's better ones
Mm.
recent years. Now Cutthroat Island. Okay, it was about a female pirate. Total fantasy, but a good ripping yarn to it. Yep.
Right.
It was a fun film, action. Don't think about it too much. Yeah. If you thought, well, that's not possible, that's against the law of physics. It was like a Bond and yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean, everything um combined. Yeah. I watched it and I thought I could see where probably Pirates of the Caribbean make producer had stolen some ideas into a film that's all but been forgotten about. Yeah. Um, this film is available on a couple of the free platforms if anyone's interested. Yeah, I'd say it's worth a watch. I would say about this film, although it's about pirates from the 17th century or 1700s, it was probably a bit before its time in regards to box office gold. Yeah, um, it was a good film and thoroughly enjoyable if you don't take it too seriously. Okay, why it didn't become a success at the time, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, you could do research. What is it running up against? Another film that's one of my favourite films of all time, period, is Highlander. Okay. Um, again, everyone thinks Highlander was a success.
Not the
Uh,
one with Mel Gibson.
no, it doesn't have Mel Gibson in it. It has Sean Connery in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now Highlander is Braveheart. I know what you're thinking of Braveheart.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
yeah. Now Highlander again is a fantasy film, really. Yeah, historical fantasy film. Swordplay, a very strong story. It wasn't a mess of a story. It was simple. Yeah. It spawned many catchphrases like there can be only one and other things like this. Lots of people think it was a success at the box office. It wasn't. It didn't. I think it made 16 million out of a 19 million budget. Yeah. But subsequent to that, it's become a cult favorite. Yeah. I had back in the UK, I bought the video to it because I couldn't watch it enough. Yeah. It's one of these films you rewatch it. Um, it's got one funny thing in it. It's got Sean Connery playing an Egyptian in it, having what haggis is being explained to him by a Frenchman playing a Scottish man. So it takes itself very seriously in that respect. Extremely tongue in cheek, a lot of fun. Okay, it's got some more gory scenes in it, or fighting and things like that. It doesn't put its punches on a few scenes. But if you like action films, like a bit of fantasy, stroke horror genre, um, a little bit of history as well. I mean, there'll be something for everyone. It's a bit like Game of Thrones. Historians love Game of Thrones, with the except even though it's got dragons in it, sort of thing. Yeah, quite a good depiction of 1600, 15th century Scotland at the time as well. Although it is almost a time traveling type of film as well. Yeah, I'm going to change a little bit tact here. Now, another one that was thought to be a failure at the box office. Everyone thinks it's a failure. It was actually relatively successful across Europe, but not in necessarily America. And that's a film called Demon Seed. Yeah, has Julie Christie in it as the main character. Now, what is interesting about that? It's filmed in the 1970s. It's actually about artificial intelligence, AI.
The name of the film again?
Demon Seed.
Demon Seed.
Yeah, Demon Seed. Yeah, it's about AI, effectively. Its themes are probably more relevant now. It's based on a science fiction novel by Coates. Yeah. Well worth a watch. Okay, it's a bit dated now. Some of the special effects maybe a little bit showing their time, as it were. It was actually, it broke even, if not made a bit of money for the studio overseas. It's strange that Europeans got it, whereas Americans probably didn't. Again, I love this film. I watched it when I was a teenager. I watched it again quite recently. And I thought, wow, it's a film that had quite an impact on my life. Yeah. It has something if people are into science fiction and horror films, really. And like quite a good, interesting story. Yeah. If you also want to see, yeah, some good acting in it. Julie Christie was always an exceptional actor. And as others are in it. Robert Vaughn doing the computer's voice is interesting. Yeah. I mean, they could go to other genres on the
Alien to me.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is it. Well, Alien to you. Yeah, but it's a rather interesting film. It's
what's the last one?
Yeah. And the last one is It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck. It is again, that wasn't a box office success. It's a staple on at Christmas, every Christmas, although it's not directly a Christmas film. For some reason, it didn't resonate with theatre audiences at the time. Yeah. It was probably came out probably when TV was beginning to come into play, which Hollywood had a problem with in the 1950s anyway, because people were getting TV, an alternative form of entertainment, rather than going to cinema. But when you look at it now, people watch it with sentimental, and it really surprises. It surprised me when I read it. It wasn't a success at the box office, the cinema. Now, why this is, it's very difficult to define why a film isn't a success, but which is where I cut off now. And I'm going to hand over to Steve. I know I've spoken a little bit, but Steve doesn't know, but I've given you a general idea.
What was the point? What was your point?
The point is, why do films fail?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's the question. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
So let's look at the films. You've got a film that I imagine as you'd linked it to Pirates of the Caribbean and that sort of ilk.
Yeah.
That is aimed at children, called Cutthroat Island.
Yes. Yeah.
Not too sure about that.
Yeah.
If you want children to go to watch a film, Cutthroat Island, that's the first thing. It's the name of the film.
Yeah.
And if the name of the film if the name of the film repels, then you've lost the first hurdle.
Yeah, it's probably a little bit. Yeah.
It's very aggressive.
Yeah, it's probably not directly a kiddies film. It's probably a teenager stroke young 20s.
Oh, whatever.
20s. Yeah, yeah.
Whatever. Highlander also doesn't actually say too much about, it's as I understand it, it's Sean Connery, you say. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never watched the film,
No.
but I imagine that it's sort of Sean Connery with one of these trying to set up a character called Highlander, and he's trying to fit in somewhere between I don't know, James Bond and The Man from Uncle and all these.
Well, yeah,
I
it's
don't
not.
know. It might
Yeah,
be that there wasn't enough space in the market at that time.
could have
I
been.
don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Demon Seed is another Demon Seed. I imagine in the 70s, you said,
Yes.
which was around about the same time as The Exorcist coming out.
Yeah.
So you think of Demon Seed,
Mm. Mm.
it could be about horticulture, but just the title Demon Seed. And I'm surprised about the Gregory Peck thing about It's a Wonderful Life. The fact that It's a Wonderful Life is put on the telly at Christmas time
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily mean that it basically it's not a traditional
Yeah.
what's a traditional Christmas film for me that has nothing to do with Christmas is Jason and the Argonauts
Yeah.
that I used to watch every Christmas time when I was a kid,
Yeah.
or The Golden Fleece
Yeah.
for some reason, this sort of Greekish sort of
Yeah.
mythological
Yeah.
was supposed to represent Christmas for
Yeah.
kids
So
in the olden days,
yeah, I'm just
back
going
in the
to
old.
just going to correct myself here. It wasn't actually Gregory Peck. It was James Stewart, 1946 film. James
Oh,
Stewart. Yeah, I just
oh,
put it on credit. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Well,
again, same thing. Yeah. It's a
I,
major star. Yeah.
it doesn't matter who was in it. I didn't watch it.
Well, I only watched it again.
But anyway, what I'm trying to get at is
Yeah.
it's a little bit like, and you can't expect
Yeah.
the fact that, for example, Snow White.
Mm.
You started off with talking about Snow White. It wasn't the title
Mm.
that did the filming. It was
Mm.
everything around the
Yeah.
actress and what she was saying,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
and all the scandal around
Mm.
the if you're going to have dwarves or not have dwarves, or
Mm.
dwarves not dwarves, right? CGI, small
Yeah.
people, big people, and so that just became politically
Mm.
toxic, So the fact that you make one success doesn't
Mm.
automatically mean that you are going to have many successes. There are
Mm.
bands,
Yeah.
musical bands,
Yeah.
that made a great success of one song
Yeah.
because it was released at the right time to the
Mm.
right market, and then all of the other songs after that flopped,
Yeah. Well, I think.
or even before that, they all flopped.
Yeah.
And just because some smart marketing guru decided to launch the song at the right time to the right
Yeah.
audience, then it,
Yeah.
it, it got a cult
Yeah.
following.
Yeah. It. Yeah. I mean, sometimes that's it. It can be timing. It can be a lot of things. The film industry is risky. I mean, what happened in the case of Snow White? I mean, I watched the trailer a couple of years ago and I thought,
Yeah,
what?
who haven't? I have as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, and I was looking at it thinking, what? Without any reference to the. Okay, I agree. Remaking the classic animation of Snow White wouldn't have been a good idea because you'd be measured against that and whether or not it's a good or bad thing,
Well,
frame by frame. You're making a live action of something, but to change, probably radically change the story. Disregard to the actress in it. I mean, there was a. I mean, Hollywood's always had a problem with its talent occasionally going a
me,
bit.
look,
Yeah,
Mark, people like me
yeah,
don't care if the story's changed or not.
yeah.
No, we don't care.
Mm,
007, James Bond,
never
every
check.
time he appears on scene, there's
Yeah,
a different story.
yeah,
The story changes,
mm,
right? The
yeah,
person, the character is the same,
yeah,
but the story changes.
mm,
So if the story changes or not, I really don't care. If the story is interesting for me, then
yeah.
I might just watch it. I'm not a, a film buff like you are.
I wouldn't say it's a film
So
buff.
your
Yeah,
your vision of a film is going to be a
yeah,
lot different from what mine is. I
yeah,
just look at myself as average Joe on the
mm,
street, walking
mm,
past the cinema,
yeah.
hearing that this film's going to be good or not. For example, Star Wars.
Mm.
I don't think I've seen any Star Wars film completely.
Whoa,
You know,
man.
yeah. And to be quite honest, some
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
later Star Wars films, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
some of the later Star Wars films, I imagine a lot of the film buffs didn't want to watch them either
Well,
because they
yeah.
run out of story.
I
Toy
could go.
Story 1, 2, 3.
Well, they did effectively.
Shrek 1, 2, 3, I think. 3,
Well, they
4.
had nowhere to go, and they tried to.
There you are. Tell you what,
the trouble is you can't keep making a film.
Hangover 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean you can't keep making films for the past audience, expect modern on. Yeah, you've got to try and move with the times, whatever the times are. And I agree with that. It's like I was talking, yeah, to some younger people about the latest Indiana Jones um, film. Yeah. And I, of course, I remember that from the 1980s. We loved it and everything. It's a different, they've changed the character. The younger people that have never seen the previous films, they don't really have any sentimental attachment to them, loved it. Yeah. So yeah, sometimes this is what's happening. I'm going to be quite honest. When, I mean, it's like the film Barbie came out recently, and that was a box office success. So it's not quite in the catch of this what I'm talking about here. The
Well,
mid late
the
mid
name of the film. The name
yeah
of the film.
yeah captures magic. Yeah, the middle-aged men who go and review Barbie and do it negatively, can't find anything positive about it. It's this, it's that. Oh, it's all women's power and all that. That's what Barbie was like. Was about. My sister played with Barbie dolls, and yeah, Ken was this weak person who stood in the background. He may have paid for everything, for all I know. Yeah.
He's had Ken, poor Ken. He's had so many people saying he's gay
Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, okay. I mean,
from the inception of the Ken doll
yeah,
coming in. Of course,
yeah.
he
Well,
was always
I,
gay.
yeah, but I mean, ultimately, yeah, it was a fantasy. It was a girl's fantasy.
Yeah,
But yeah, Ken was brought in as an accessory almost. You know, he might have paid for everything for all I know. I can't remember a Barbie kitchen. Funny enough, but I didn't look. But maybe I don't ever remember there being a
I'm
Barbie
sure she
kitchen.
had one. I'm sure she had one in a Barbie doll's house. I'm
Yeah,
sure they have.
probably Ken used it. Uh, but
Well,
it,
Ken, well, Ken would.
oh dear.
There you
Oh
go.
dear, how we reference to that? But yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Why do films fail? I mean, another one is Master and Commander. I've just thought of. Again, a C one. It's developed a cult. It has a Russell Crowe in it. Great film about. I've read one of a couple of novels from the series it's based on. It's actually based on two novels combined. Not a lot happens in it, but the action sequences are brilliant. It just didn't ignite at the box office. Yeah, I think DVD sales went up on a lot on it, and it's really a big screen action film. Yeah, but for some reason, people enjoy watching it at home. It is quite an involved story. The way the characters are played, it's character driven more than probably overall action. But when the action comes in, they're brilliant. So again, why that failed? Yeah, Master and Commander. I mean, yeah, you're driven by titles. I like imagination titles.
No, I'm saying the title is the first thing that you come
Yeah,
across,
yeah, it's the cover of the book. Yeah,
right?
I
And
agree.
so,
Yeah,
so you know, to call Cutthroat Island for a kids film is a bit off.